Hey everyone, this is Jeev again. So it's been a while since I posted the last video. So I thought that let me explain a strategy which I lately executed on budget day, and I made somewhere around 15 to 20% returns. So let me just walk you through the strategy and how I made somewhere around 15 to 20% returns. So let's get right into the video. So the strategy which I did was leaps. So leaps is nothing but long-term equity anticipation securities, which is nothing but these are options which expires more than a year and it might go up to 3 years. So in what form leaps can be used? So leaps can be used for investing as well as for hedging. It depends on what we want and how we want to execute the strategy. So one example for leaps is December 28 expiry, which expires in 9 to 10 months from now on. So the strategy which I executed, I entered on Feb 1, which is almost 11 months prior to expiry. So when it comes to executing a strategy in leaps, so you need to enter at the right time. So what is the right time to enter into leaps? So you need to enter the leaps when the VIX is really high. What is VIX? VIX is a volatility index which denotes how much volatile the Indian market is. So if the volatility index is more than 18 to 20 or more than that, then that means the fear in the market is really high. It doesn't necessarily mean that only when the market crashes the VIX goes high. Even when the market goes extremely high, that time also VIX increases. So it denotes fear in the market. So more the fear, more will be the volatility index. So if you're an option seller and when the VIX is really high, that's when the premiums will be really high. So that's a good opportunity to get into a trade with less volume, because if you get into more volume, obviously it might backfire and you might lose a lot in that particular trade. So when the VIX is really high, it's a good time to make big money, but going in with the less capital is advisable. So when to exit? So the entry criteria for leaps is when the VIX is really high. So when to exit? Exit when the VIX crashes. So for example, I took in the third point, as you can see, I took 18,000 short straddle, which expires on December 2023. It expires on December 28, 2023. So I entered just before budget day when the VIX was at 18 and exited when it crashed to 12. So almost there was a 30 to 35% crash in VIX in the March first week itself. So I entered on Feb 1 and exited on March first week, somewhere around March 3. So I carried this trade for almost 30 days. So, and fortunately the VIX crashed almost 30 to 35% and I made somewhere around 17% returns. So I'll just open the VIX chart so that we'll get a better view on how the trade went. So this is the VIX chart. So as you can see, on Feb 1, the VIX was around 18 and it went all the way up to 19.5. Right, on Feb 1 the VIX was somewhere around 18 to 19, and soon after the budget the market the VIX actually crashed and it came all the way up to 12 and then it went up to 15, and I exited exactly at the bottom. Like, I mean, the low VIX which we saw in the last 1 year was around 13 to 12. So I thought that this is the right time to get out of the market, because the fear was also high. It seemed like the Nifty might break 17,200 and the fear also might be really high. So I exited when the VIX was 12. So the amount of profit I made in that particular trade, you can see in that particular screenshot. So I made somewhere around 3,701 rupees in put option, and almost call options crashed aggressively, and I made somewhere around 22,196 rupees in call options. So the interesting part to look out over here is that even though the market came down almost 600 to 700 points, the 18,000 put option actually crashed and I made profit out of it. That's because the VIX crashed. So VIX plays a major role when you're taking a position in options, especially when you're a seller. So for taking one short straddle without hedge, the amount we need is 1.5 lakhs, and the profit I made was somewhere around 25,897 rupees. So the ROI of this particular trade is 17%, which is really high. And if you ask me if we can make this ROI for the next month, starting from March to April, it's not possible, because we never know. I mean, historically the VIX never crashes 30% every month. Once in a fortnight these things happen, and there was a mega event on Feb 1 which was budget day, and the VIX crashed extremely high. So only because of that I made 17% ROI. But if you ask me how much profit we can make in leaps, easily we can make somewhere around like there will be at least 3 to 4% crash in that option every month. So this is how leaps work. But what I would advise is it is better to take the leap strategy with a view. So what I would advise is, so if I think that the market might go to 18,500 or 19,000 within this year, so I'll take an 18,500 or 19,000 short strategy, and I might adjust it accordingly. Adjustments I can't expose it right now. So if you take that, if fortunately Nifty expires somewhere around 18,600 or 18,000, above 18,000 by this year, and you'll make bulk of the profits. So when it comes to investing also, you can sell 16,000 put option as a cash secured put and make some extra bucks out of it. So lastly, let me open the P&L statement of my account and show you at what price I entered and what price I exited. So I already filtered out the prices. So 18,000 call option I entered at, the sell price was 1,282 rupees and the exit price was 837 rupees. Okay, so and then when it comes to 18,000 put option, the sell average price was 800 rupees and I exited at 725 rupees. So the profits made in these two options are 22,165 rupees in call option and 3,674 rupees in that put option. So in total somewhere around 26,000 rupees. So more than making profits, the time you enter into the trade and the time you exit out of the trade is much more important when it comes to taking a strategy in leaps. What I would suggest is cash in with your money with at least 1 or 2 lots when the VIX is extremely high, and exit when the VIX crashes, because you never know in which way the market might move after the budget day. There might be even a 5% or 6% move upside or downside. So if I have like 1 or 2 lots, it's easy for us to manage. But if you have like more lots, obviously it's tougher for us to manage. So as you can see, the capital I have is 70 to 80 lakhs, but even though I went only 1 lot, so that's because I don't want to take much bigger risk before a mega event. So that's why I went with only 1 lot. But I have a regret that I would have gone for at least 2 or 3 lots. But we never know whether the trade might end up in our side or against us. So hope you all find this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching the video. Until next time, cheers.